We've talked on the YouTube channel a lot about State of Decay 3, and this title, guys, it's as we're getting closer and closer to the release, I am getting more and more excited from the trailers that they've been releasing. This is a title, guys, and a series that I'm not super familiar with. I've played the first two, but I'm not as familiar as far as the lore and the story as many people are in these titles. They are very interesting to me, but I feel that State of Decay 3 is a real step, a different kind of direction that they're taking the franchise in, which I absolutely love. Feels darker, feels grittier, feels like there's going to be some really interesting horror elements to this next one. So with that being said, we're going to talk about everything that we know now about this title. We're going to break it down. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So in an article that's coming to us from Anjali Jha, State of Decay 3 is getting ready to step into the gaming industry. There was a time when the gaming industry was one of the most, this was one of the most underrated ones, but now it is all set to roll over other industries. One of the most beloved industries that is gaming is appearing as a beast in the market, and again is going to launch a new sensation. It is State of Decay 3, and we all know about the craze of the previous two launches of the State of Decay video game series. However, gamers are waiting eagerly to have this one as soon as possible. So State of Decay is a series from which there is, of course, 3 titles that are going to be at this point in time. A third-person shooter, guys. Publishers of the video game series, Xbox Game Studios and Undead Labs, are responsible for the development of the series. The game is about surviving from zombies and gaining victory on every challenge. Zombies are always a term that excites everyone at some point in time. And when we have a game that revolves around zombies, then all of us have that one feeling to try it. Thus, this video game series grabbed the attention of the gamers. Also, players are now waiting for a year and asking, when is State of Decay going to release? So with that being said, guys, the release date is going to be one that is huge. Obviously, this is kind of like the biggest thing for those of us who want to get our hands on the game. Well, obviously, the release date of State of Decay 3 is yet to be declared. However, they had an announcement trailer in 2020. It's been a year. We're still waiting. The game might come soon, or maybe it's going to be coming out at some point in 2022. Could be coming out, in 2023. It's really hard to say, guys, when this title is going to come out. However, that being said, obviously the first title came out in 2013. It was a massive success, guys. Obviously, Xbox, this is an Xbox-owned IP, so it's exclusive to Xbox. You're able to obviously get it from Xbox Game Pass whenever the game does come out. And so there's a lot of excitement around this title. Now, many people are hoping that this also releases on PlayStation. I don't believe that's going to be happening. The first two were exclusive to Xbox. State of Decay 3 will be available on Xbox Series X consoles and Windows. Undead Labs and Microsoft are having a partnership that's about 8 years up to this point in time. And obviously, it's going to be coming out on the next-gen consoles, most likely, or the next-gen console, that being Xbox Series X and S, probably won't be coming out on Xbox One. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that for sure. Now, that being said, though, guys, what I'm really excited about when it comes to this title in particular is what I was saying about the grittiness of it, right? From the trailer, the horror elements. I love the deer that was a zombie. That's something that I absolutely love about some of these video games that we're getting. There's a lot of variety here. A zombie deer, and a lot of other, obviously we're just kind of seeing the tip of the iceberg. The graphics, it looked to me, and I've said this before, that State of Decay 3 is taking an aggressive approach to be The Last of Us for Xbox. You've got obviously The Last of Us that we've got on PlayStation, but Xbox is saying, hey, you know what? We want something that's going to compete against The Last of Us. That being in the form of State of Decay 3. The first two State of Decays, not saying that they weren't good, guys, but obviously they did not even hold up even close to that of The Last of Us from a story, a narrative perspective, gameplay perspective, complete unnerving and on the edge of your seat type of gameplay. I'm getting that vibe here with State of Decay 3, just from the trailers. Now, look, obviously we have to wait to see official, more gameplay and things of that nature, but this title looks great. It looks like it could be a terrifying experience and really turn this series in a direction of being a real competitor against The Last of Us instead of just being another horror title out there. Now, Alyssa, you haven't played State of Decay. You have played a little bit of The Last of Us.
Oh, well, I've played the whole first game.
Yeah. So
I haven't played The Last of Us 2, but I played The Last of Us, the first Last of Us.
So obviously, so you have a little bit of experience within the horror realm. You know how big I am into horror movies, into horror games. You're into horror movies as well. We watch those a lot. So, if there was going to be a game that was going to compete against The Last of Us, what do you think another title would have to do in order to be a competitor? I mean, like, obviously, when we look at The Last of Us, you look at a title that is like, on another level when it comes to the horror world. I mean, there's games like Gears of War on Xbox. There's games out there that are creepy like Resident Evil. But The Last of Us really is an unnerving experience that Naughty Dog has done an incredible job crafting. What do you think, or is it even possible for another company in this form of Undead Labs and Xbox, like what would they have to do to even be on that same level as The Last of Us?
I don't know. I don't know. I think The Last of Us was just like really thought out. I don't think there was any zombie animals, were there?
No, it was like mainly like clickers. Well, actually,
so that's kind of something that they're doing different. Even in shows that have zombies, like The Walking Dead, like you never see animals become the zombies. So like what happens to the animals, so it just doesn't affect them. So I think that's a pretty cool feature to see, like maybe animals or the animals turn into creatures because of the zombies. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to top The Last of Us. I really do. I think it's a great game. I need to play the second one. I just haven't had a chance. I kind of wish like certain games weren't just on certain consoles, because it's hard for me to play State of Decay because I'm more of a PS person, a PlayStation person, where you're is more of an Xbox person. So I hope maybe I can play State of Decay eventually. But I don't know what I think it's gonna be really hard to top The Last of Us.
Yeah, no, I think it's hard for anybody to top The Last of Us, one of the greatest games of all time. In my opinion, I believe it up to this point.
I mean, you used to think Uncharted was one of the best, and then The Last of Us kind of overtook that. So,
well, Uncharted was definitely, for me, the greatest PlayStation game, exclusive game that I ever played. One of the greatest ever.
It's still one of the great.
One of the greatest ever.
It's a great
But The Last of Us did top it for me. Wasn't after the first one, it was after the second one that it really topped it for me.
Like I said, I still need to play the second one. But I watched him play some of the second one, and it got even grittier than the first one. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know. There were really cool aspects of the Last of Us where you, like I said, you could use the bow and arrow, which is really big when you're fighting zombies because you can't be, when you're fighting the clickers because you can't be loud, can't make any noises. So that was pretty cool. I think we used the bow and arrow like the whole game. But I think The Last of Us, you really grow to love Joel and Ellie as well. Like, their connection, I think, is what made the game really good, too. So, I mean, I don't know the characters in State of Decay. I don't know the relationships or anything like that. Or, is it third person? Mm-hmm. Is it, I preferably like third person games more than first person games. So, I think it's just something about seeing the person that I'm playing. I like that more than being the person I'm playing, if that makes sense. But I don't know if they can top it. I mean, maybe they can.
I think what they have to do, though, is with any title like this, there's one thing to say, oh, we're going to try to compete against The Last of Us. But then there's another way in your mind that you can say, look, we're just going to be different.
Yeah, like do different things. Have different weapons. Have different creatures. Have different...
Exactly. Do things that are like, in your back of your mind, it's like, yeah, we're competing directly against those guys over at Naughty Dog for The Last of Us. But at the same time, you're saying the way we're going to compete against them is by being different, not copying what their success, how they became successful. Do what we're going to do that's going to be different. Like a zombie deer, and who knows what they could be the tip tip of the iceberg. They could have so many awesome ideas in State of Decay 3 that could really make it stand out to The Last of Us and be different, but still people have that thought like, man, this is The Last of Us of Xbox. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, at least from the trailers. And like I said, guys, we could be looking way too much into this. It may be like just not going to be really trying to be a competitor to The Last of Us. I just got that vibe from the trailer for State of Decay 3. I'm very excited about this title, guys. It will definitely be one of those titles I'll be playing. I'm excited to continue like watching the evolution. I'll be sure to give you guys, you know, more updates and such as we get closer and closer to the release of State of Decay 3. But what do you guys think? I mean, when do you think this title is going to come out? If you ask me, I would say that we're probably pretty close. We're getting closer, guys. I would say we're going to get an update at some point in 2022. It may be 2023 by the time the title comes out, but I'll be sure to give you guys more updates as it comes out. I'm very excited about it. What about you? Are you excited about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more State of Decay 3 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.